Good morning, friends and family. This is your host, Joe Sacco, on the Coffee and Charisma Show. I wanted to broadcast live this morning from downtown Las Vegas. As you can see behind me, this is the Fremont Street Experience. Now, you might say that it's only 7 a.m., although it is a Sunday, and Las Vegas is known to be the entertainment capital of the world. This is a little bit frightening to some. You can see there's a few people walking here and there. I walked past a number of seemingly homeless or poor folks on the streets that were holding signs asking for food and donations. While that's not unusual, our economy definitely has come down to almost a complete halt. And so this morning I want to talk to you folks about how we're going to stay calm in the face of a crisis. If you're just tuning in, thanks for watching. This is an interactive show, so feel free to drop a comment, ask a question. We're here to interact on the Coffee and Charisma Show. This morning I had a nice conversation with my dad. My dad is 78 years old. He is not very concerned about the coronavirus. He has his own opinions, and I won't get into that right now because really what I don't want to do is divide us up any further than we are. You know, there's the camp that says everything is a conspiracy theory and don't succumb to fear, and then you've got the other camp that is ringing the bell really loud that it's time to quarantine, it's time to stay home, especially even if you have no symptoms. If you are under 40, a lot of the experts are saying now is the time to have some distance between those that we care about and those that we don't even know. And trust me, I've had mixed feelings on this myself. I just went out last night, had a drink with some friends. The bar was full from end to end, and nobody was really worried about it. I guess if they were worried, they wouldn't have been there, right? Now I want to ask you all that are tuning in, what is it that you do to stay calm in a crisis? Whether it's this global pandemic that we're facing, or you've lost your job, or there's just a rough patch in your life right now. And for those of you that are sick at home, if there's anything that I can do to help, deliver supplies, food, medicine, if you just want a phone call or someone to lend an ear, I want to be here for you folks. Not just in Las Vegas, but from wherever you're watching. If you need something, if you're worried, if your fear has gotten the best of you and you have anxiety, please reach out, because this is about building community. This show is about mutual aid and support, and I think that that's what it really means to be a family. And I've spoken about this on other videos, what a global family is all about. So if you're just tuning in again, this is Joe Sacco, your host of Coffee and Charisma. Take a look. This is the downtown Las Vegas Fremont Street Experience. It's pretty much a ghost town, folks, and everybody I know that is a worker on the Strip in the Las Vegas Convention Center, we are all laid off. There's been over about a dozen shows, medium and large size shows, that have canceled in the last week or two. So that means no work for the next 2 months for the majority of union positions here in the Las Vegas Valley. Now I say that not to get people worked up, but because that's the reality of the situation that we're in. And I want to go ahead and take you all for a little walk through the Fremont Street Experience here in downtown Vegas, and just to give you an idea of how quiet it is. And if you've ever watched a zombie apocalypse movie, you know what I'm talking about, because it kind of looks like that. But the point of this video is to stay calm, and we're going to talk about methods of staying calm and not freaking out, because all the experts agree, no matter what your opinion is, whether you think that this is a government hoax, you think people are overreacting, or you're not worried because you're a young, healthy person with a strong immune system, the point is we should not be panic buying, we should not be fighting with one another, because hate and violence and vitriol being spewed all over the internet, that's not helping anybody. But we have a reality here. The economy is essentially crashing. People are out of work. I have a friend that was just about to buy a home. He lost his job. He works at 2 restaurants on the Las Vegas Strip. As you can see, I'll just turn the camera so you can see. It's a ghost town. Personally, what I enjoy as a means of calming myself are 2 things in particular. First and foremost, I have found a great bit of relief from meditation. For those of you at home that are not into meditation, I strongly recommend it. If meditation is not your thing, then maybe prayer works for you. Maybe just sitting in silence, being calm, having a cup of tea. Whatever it is that calms you down, I bet now is the right time to employ those tactics. So again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about staying calm in the age of coronavirus. We are downtown in Las Vegas, broadcasting live, and as you can see, it is pretty quiet. I want to walk right by, let's see, this is Binion's Horseshoe, famous downtown landmark of the original Vegas casinos, and I'm just going to point my camera in here to show you how few people are actually gambling too. Once again, I'm showing these images just to establish the reality of the situation. It's undeniable that business is creeping to a halt. The school board is discussing, and lots of pressure is being put on the superintendent as well as the head doctor in charge of the health district here. We have one of the largest school districts in the country, the Clark County School District, and many parents and families, students and teachers alike, as well as support staff, are very, very concerned, as you can imagine, because anywhere where lots of people gather, viruses can spread very quickly, and many of us that may be infected, we may not even know it. We may never have symptoms. We might just have a little tickle in the throat, a little cough, and simply not be affected by this. But all the experts are saying that's how viruses spread so quickly, and the reason why some countries have gotten a hold of this virus better than others is to what degree of preparation, to what degree of staying calm, to what degree of the government and leaders in the communities have taken action. And what we're facing, folks, is the possibility of the hospitals and the doctor offices being overwhelmed. I just watched a video this morning from our school board trustee, Danielle Ford. She's our trustee from District F. She's been very outspoken and putting lots of pressure on the school district to send kids home, to either work from home or to, first and foremost, she says we need to keep people safe, and I 100% agree. At this time, the school district is not closing. Some parents have voluntarily decided to take their kids out of school to be safe. The bottom line is this, folks. Whatever you do, stay calm. For me, meditation helps a lot. For others, it may be prayer or the comfort of their friends and family. Whether you have one opinion or another about this, it's really important that we treat each other with respect and dignity. Now, I mentioned earlier that there are two main things that I go to when I need to calm myself down a little bit. Just gonna adjust this camera. All right. Now, as you can see, we're right outside the D Las Vegas. It's pretty quiet here. I'm wondering how people living on the streets are feeling. Maybe I'll do some interviews later as far as how the homeless are reacting to this crisis. The other day I was driving down Maryland Parkway here in Vegas, in Midtown, in our district actually, Assembly District 16 that I'm running in. And it was pretty sad because I saw a person that appeared to be homeless, not sure if they were, and they were walking down the street on the sidewalk, and they had a mask on. But it wasn't any kind of special mask. It looked like one of those painter masks that are just really paper thin, like almost like as thin as tissue paper. And they were walking down the street wearing that mask. It was troubling to see. So if you're just tuning in, this is Joe Sacco reporting live downtown for Coffee and Charisma. We are in the Fremont Street experience. I'm showing folks how dead it is down here. A lot of layoffs, a lot of people are scared and not sure what to do. And while, for one, I gotta say, social isolation, it doesn't really it doesn't really jive with me personally. I'm a very social guy, and maybe if you're an extrovert or an introvert that is sometimes very extroverted, it can be troubling to think of isolating, quarantining yourself, especially, you know, voluntarily. However, I'm leaning towards social distancing myself, because until we've got the crisis under wraps, you know, there's no sense in putting people at risk. So the second thing that I turn to as far as staying calm is that wonderful green plant known as cannabis, specifically THC and CBD. Very, very helpful. In fact, I just made a post the other day about how now would be the perfect time for us to make legal, or at least decriminalize, the marijuana plant nationwide. There's no sense in the world as to why, no explanation that is, why it's a Schedule I drug, which is equal to heroin or cocaine. I'm not trying to politicize the issue, folks, but I think that it's important that we do what we can to be calm. The marijuana industry in Las Vegas is growing day by day, no pun intended, and there's probably a dispensary pretty close to where you live if you live in the downtown area, or if you live in Assembly District 16. Now, that being said, always use substances that alter your mood responsibly, and as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing wrong with the plant. Again, if you're just tuning in, I appreciate the support. Walking around in downtown Las Vegas. This is the Fremont Street experience. Very, very quiet here this morning. And as you can see, let's see, I'm going to turn the camera around and show you guys. So for those of you not familiar with the ordinarily booming economy of Las Vegas, typically this area would be full of people, even on a Sunday morning, even with the briskness in the air. It's a little chilly this morning, but I call this Vegas cold. Nothing like the East Coast though. So normally there's tons and tons of people down here, and I'm going to show you now what it looks like on Fremont Street East, which is has been developed over the last 10 years or so. Check it out. So if you're watching the recording or the live stream, let me know, how are you feeling? Are you freaking out? Is your family nervous? Have you stockpiled items in your home? Have you participated in a panic buying spree, or are you staying calm? And if you are staying calm, what is your method of madness? I've already discussed what my methods are. Typically, I go to meditation first and foremost. That calms me down very, very, very quickly. And I also rely sometimes on cannabis, usually in the evening, to help me sleep. It's really, really great for anxiety, depression, all the pitfalls of the inequality that we experience here in the United States. All right, we're gonna walk down Fremont Street East and continue the broadcast. Another thing is, folks, watching TV or being on the internet all day, all night, in my view, is very detrimental to mental health. In fact, some of my friends that are in the helping professionals field, social workers, therapists, for example, many of them will say when they have a client come in, especially if the client is dealing with issues around self-esteem, comparing with others, you know, who has what. We all know that on social media, everyone makes their lives look really, really, really awesome, over the top, or really, really, you know, difficult and troubling. Basically, we tend to exaggerate online. I think it's a matter of human behavior. So if you're online too much, if you're watching TV too much, then maybe now is the time to take a break, watch a funny movie that you like. That would be my dad's advice as far as staying calm goes. Be with your loved ones, rest, relax. And I know that's easier said than done, especially for all my union brothers and sisters, our IATSE stagehands, our IBEW electricians, our Teamsters, and all of our service industry people up and down the Las Vegas Strip that may be out of work right now. It's easier said than done if maybe you don't have a nest egg or a savings at home. But despite this super quiet economy right now, we've got to do the best that we can. We've been through hard times before. 9/11 was crippling to the US economy, and somehow we got through it. So no matter what your take is on COVID-19, whether you agree with Danielle Ford that we should shut down the school district temporarily, or you think that everybody should go to school, work, and church, wherever they go, just business as usual, regardless of your political mindset, of your personal beliefs there, it's important that we stay logical, and that we remember that life is about the connections we have with one another and being supportive of each other. So here we are at Fremont East and 6th Street. You can see that it's pretty quiet. I'm gonna just show you all the way around once again. If you're just tuning in, I appreciate you watching the show. Please make sure notifications are on. We go live every morning at 7 a.m. And this show is all about building community, inspiring and motivating, creating positive change. And I hope that this show brings some value to your life. If it does, drop a comment. If you are watching right now on the live, let me know where you're watching from. Again, this is Fremont Street East, and down that way is the Fremont Street Experience. So even though it looks like a zombie apocalypse, we're all in this together. If there's anything that I can do or my family can do personally to help calm your fears and de-stress, please do not hesitate to reach out, shoot me a message, connect with me on my personal page, Joe Sacco, and let's make sure that we know that we're all in this together, folks. All right, every morning 7 a.m. I'm right here reporting live, unscripted, totally transparent and authentic. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.